Wow. So what we did was we took 8 successful men and we put them in a room and we polled all the beautiful people, beautiful women in the world, and we asked, what is a question that you've been dying to ask men, single men, married men, whatever, and we came up with 21 questions. This is one of the most insightful, colorful, humorous, and probably thought-provoking conversations that I've personally ever been a part of. And I want to give you guys a little excerpt here. I'm going to release the whole thing soon, but this is a small excerpt. Enjoy. Love you guys. Stay on the chase. 21 questions. Jeez.
I think black men are intimidated by it.
Wait. So you might have hit it. You might have. Where's the whack-a-mole? Say that again, please.
They're black women, and I can speak to this. I've been married to a black woman for 16 years.
Qualified.
Certified. Stamped.
Like, answer the second question, what I like about black women is shape.
Oh, come on now.
Qualified.
God bless you.
That's a complete misnomer. I've never met a brother who said, man, I'm intimidated by her because she make money. I met brothers that say, oh man, she make money, I'm going to try to get with that. I think it's the complete and 100%
They ran across
opposite.
one. They ran across 1 or 2.
Well, I think the way, tread carefully.
No, don't tread carefully. No.
I think the way some successful black women carry themselves causes them to be eliminated from the opportunity.
I was just about to say that. I think it has less to do with the success of a black woman than it has to do with some successful black women who had to be a different person, who had to be a certain type of person to get success. So if there's a certain type of person you have to get success as a black woman, and that person is unattractive. That person is not, I know for myself, so I'm not intimidated by a woman who has a lot of money or who is successful, but I am sort of
put off
by a woman who is a fighter.
They can't take it off.
And who can't,
They can't leave it at work.
And who is honestly constantly doing battle. I cannot deal with a woman who is constantly doing battle. She had to do battle for 8 hours at work, and then she comes home to me, and all she knows how to do is battle. So it's like she's a lawyer, and every time we have a discussion, she's in court, and she's making her case. And at some point, no, when you need to turn that off when you come home from me. So I'd rather you make $25,000 a year and be able to turn that off than for you to make $250,000 a year and not ever be turned up.
Let's play the advocate here, because thinking about what a couple of you said earlier, when some of your fears are to provide for your family. No, it may not be that many men that are intimidated by a woman that makes more than them, but there are a lot of men that if their woman is making more than them, they can't handle that, because to them it makes them, they don't feel like they're the man in that relationship because they're not providing.
You know men personally?
I know a lot
They
of guys
feel like they're not the man
because they don't make money.
Because they're women.
Go in the bathroom, stand in the bathroom.
I don't feel that way, and you don't, and everybody else here it doesn't. But the reality of it is that there are a lot of relationships that if the woman is making a lot more than the man, the guy cannot.
And what do they tell you? Do they tell you why they feel that way, or do they just feel that way?
Well, I've heard it from both sides. I know it because I know I have a lot of female friends.
But do the men give you reasons why they say, I don't like that she makes more money than me because ABC, or does it just stop with I don't like it?
Well, for the most part, it is that sense of not being able to provide. It's like, well, if she can do all this by herself, she doesn't need me. Now it does go back to where
So
you're
that
saying.
goes back to the woman being respectful.
It goes back to that because there are a lot of women that know how to be humble in that scenario and where you're blessed.
This point is probably don't make sense to me because I'm still in I'm in the dating stage right now.
Come on.
But I think that I believe the issue is twofold. I believe the issue is the man's fault because, and going back years and years and years of generations to where we haven't been there. We haven't been there. We aren't providing for our children. We're letting the house get taken. We're letting the lights get cut off because we haven't been the best providers because we've been chasing the things. So what happened is women have said, look, you're not going to do it, I'm going to do it. So then it's like, you're not going to do it. You too worried about the next woman, you too worried about this, you too worried about that, you too worried about rap career, whatever it is. So now they're in the driver's seat. So then we come along after they've made it and said, give me some control. They're like, hold on, bro. You don't get no control. Yeah, but hold on. You get no control. You have not worked to get this control because we have not been there. They've had to do it. Even single women who are raising children, we haven't been there. And then they meet a guy who's like, you so headstrong. Like, look, I've been doing this for 10, 15 years by myself. Yeah. And we want to come and assume the role of control automatically. So it's our fault, first of all, because we put them in that position. It's their fault, or the woman's fault, because we are Superman. We like the damsel in distress. I don't care how.
Some me.
I like the damsel in distress. You make $250,000. I make $25,000. I'm still gonna pay for the dinner. That's me. I'm going to do it.
You're crazy. That's crazy.
I'm doing it.
Certain things well.
I'm doing it. So you can't allow. You got to allow me to be a man. Is what we were talking about earlier. I don't care how much money you have. I don't care what you drive. I don't care if everything you have is better than mine. We're still going to do mine. I drive a Yugo. You drive a Mercedes. I'm still taking you to the movies in my car. We're going to do mine. Nah, man. I'm a man.
Why?
That's why. Because
what does that have to do with being a man?
Yeah, why?
Because for me, it's just I want to feel like what I have is good enough.
Feel like it in the Mercedes, dude.
Nah, man. For me,
Feel like it in the bed tonight.
So we need our ego stroked.
some do, and I'm one of those. I'm one of those.
But that goes back to what I'm saying. And
Some of us want our ego stroked.
Definitely.
Well, the thing of it is,
Because I want to feel like you are with me for me.
Yeah, not for your ego, and not for your
But it shouldn't
25K.
matter. To me, it shouldn't matter.
Then it shouldn't matter.
It shouldn't matter.
If it
Right.
doesn't matter,
it shouldn't
you're
matter.
Absolutely right. So
If it doesn't matter,
you're right.
Then it
So
don't matter.
some days we can take the Yugo, some days
That
we
ain't
can
what
take
you
the
said.
Mercedes.
That ain't what you said.
No, I'm saying
Start out. You want
The elder statesman.
you want to be leaned on a little bit.
well, actually, well, let me finish. I've heard.
I'm gonna tell you the one thing I don't
We've
want.
heard what you said. I think what it is a lot of men have to feel needed.
There you go. I don't want to be
And
with
if
a
they
woman
don't feel
who doesn't
that
want
way, then
If a woman says,
that
okay.
can discourage.
Can I feel, just real quick though, let's make some sense out of this and let's talk practically about it. Can I feel needed in your Mercedes?
Yes, it is.
If you ask me to
you still
be in
need
that
me there.
Mercedes,
Yeah, you need me.
and at some point, maybe if she know how to do it right, she'll let you drive that thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If she know how to do it right,
Always one.
she'll
Let
do
you
it.
drive.
If she know how to do it right, she'll do it right.
Let me say this. Being the elder statesman, it's stuff, gentlemen.
Oh,
It's
thank you.
stuff.
Thank you.
It's stuff.
Thank you.
So how do we?
Mercedes,
So
Yugo, it's stuff.
okay. So then the question is, how do we define how we provide? Because now we're saying providing is financial,
Let me tell you what the number one need is for a woman: security.
but
It's
if
security.
she makes
Gentlemen,
a
it's
$250,000 a
and
year,
she's gonna use
make
that $250,000.
$25,000.
She's gonna use that $250,000 to make herself feel secure. That's what she's gonna do. But dude, she's
so how
gonna
do-
use that
so
$250,000.
We provide emotional security.
No, man, look. It's secure.
Woman already has everything else. What else can you
And
provide? But
the
emotional security.
It's the other point I was going to make. The one point I was going to make is the one thing that I hate to hear in dating. When I'm dating, the one thing that turns me away is when I hear a woman say, "I don't need no man. I don't want to be with you."
yeah.
If you tell me I don't need him, I just want one. No, I want you to need me. And I'm telling you, every brother up here wants their woman to need him.
them.
Right.
True.
I think where we get cornered in this notion, fellas, I am so much more than what's in my bank account. I am so much more than what I brought. I'm that might be 10 or 20%, and I do well. That is a small, and if you are limited to what you bring home at the end, on the end of the spear, you know what I'm saying, to use your analogy, what you bring home, in the sack from the hunting trip, if that's what you're limited to, I feel sorry for you.
Let me piggyback, but please.
Okay, go ahead.
This was the discussion between me and my ex. And for those of you who don't know my ex, we are like the greatest friends in the world.
Yeah.
You wouldn't know we're not married.
Yeah.
Okay, we're the greatest friends in the world. Let me say that.
Y'all not married?
We had this discussion. We had this discussion. And I'm quite sure some of you have heard women say this. All I want is you. I don't want what all I want is you. All I need is you. And this is what I said to her. I said, listen to this. I recognize that if I wouldn't have had what I had, I wouldn't have attracted you anyway. Because sometimes it is, you wouldn't have looked my way. Because women have these standards, and men that fall into those categories are the type of men that they will go at. So here I am with this, okay, I know what I have attracts certain kinds of women. And then after I get them, it's my job to maintain it, to keep it. Trick, once you got them, they with you for you. So what's theirs is yours, man. Yeah. I will lay my life down for it. Once they're into you, once they've committed themselves to you, and this is in their DNA, what's theirs is yours. If she's got $250,000, the $250,000 is yours, bro. So take your little 25, kind of throw it in a savings account, and live off the $250,000.
So
let me say this.
This was drawn in, on the question of what do you like about black women, and then the question that was posed to me was about interracial relationships, and I've already shared that that's the entirety of my experience. And I think we've come to a point, particularly in this society, where it's becoming increasingly irrelevant. Interracial dating and interracial relationships, and obviously I have mixed kids, and you have a hard time finding a pure anything anymore, anyway, as far as that's concerned. So I think interracial dating from that context is becoming increasingly irrelevant. Culturally, I think we can categorize some things where it is still relevant, as in perhaps a black man dating a white woman and how black women feel about that.
Yeah. Successful black man. They don't care about the bums. If one of the bums of us don't want to go over there, they're fine.
And I think that's representative of disappointment. I think that's representative of perhaps a slight lack of confidence. Because if it doesn't matter for me to be with a black woman, it shouldn't matter for you to be with a white woman.
You say, I know where you're coming from. Because early in my relationship, my woman gave me the most painful compliment that I could take. She said, let me make sure I say it right, what you have to offer naturally is nothing compared to what you have to offer spiritually. That hurt. That actually hurt for her to tell me that. What I got to offer naturally, I'm a good dude. Blah, blah. But she said it, and she was saying, you have so much to offer to me spiritually and emotionally. I don't need nothing else that you got. I don't want nothing else that you got. And it took me so I understand where you're coming from, because I want it to be needed. I want it to be leaned upon. But she didn't need it. So do you lose a good woman because she doesn't need you?
So here's the question. Why would you want to be with someone that doesn't need you?
She didn't need me in that way. She needed me
it's
emotionally,
a different
spiritually.
way. I agree with that. At some point, she can need him and not need him financially.
And this is not about finance. This is about everything.
But when a woman says,
that's what
to
I'm
me
saying.
too,
I
don't like the type of woman who says, I don't need a man.
That's what I'm saying.
I understand that.
I'm talking about, I need you to need me. I need to know when you come home, I want you to talk to me. I don't want you to call up Sarah. Call me. I want to know that.
That's that emotional need.
Yeah, I just need you to need me. Okay? That's what I'm saying. You be independent. Be independent, go make your money, drive your big car. But when it comes to me, I need us to need each other. I need us to lean on each other, regardless of how much or little I have, and regardless of how much or little you have. I want us to have that bond, so that way if you come down, that's what I'm saying.
Our result, I mean,
That's what I'm saying.
just to finish out this conversation, but we also have lots of examples all over the place of men who make less than their women, and they figured out their niche or their lane. I know Lisa Leslie was on TV just the other day with her husband. She's definitely the breadwinner, but he's found ways to do things because breadwinner that set him up and that set them both up, and moved them into the future. So
that's what I'm saying. That goes back to my initial statement. But at the same time, it's still not that easy for most men to find that niche, as you just said.
Here's what I don't
I guess I don't like the concept that most men, because we're sitting down here at this table, and I would say that most of us don't have a problem, wouldn't have a problem with it. I think it's the reverse.
That's what we're saying here in front of the camera. But really, we don't know exactly how.
What cameras?
What was you going to say, man?
Well, here's where I'm at. I mean, I hear what all of you are saying, but I guess what I'm not getting, or what my point is none of that worries me. None of that, I'm bothered by that, based on the fact that I know, or at least I have an understanding of who God says a man is supposed to be, what we're set to do. So
absolutely.
I get that, if it's a strong woman, that's cool. She make more money, cool. I don't have a problem with that, because when she gets with me, I know that I'm the head of the household. I know what my role is to do. So the only reason I'd be the only reason I would have an issue is if she's making more money, or when you come across that strong black woman who has had to provide, who's had to do all those independent things. That's me seeing them taking the role of what some of the characteristics of what men are supposed to do, when they don't know how to turn that off, or when they're out of place, is what I'm saying. And it happens in life, but when that happens, that turns me off, because I'm like, okay, that's where you're taking on the characteristics of what I should do.
Yes, sir.
That's why. And so, I mean, I get what you're saying. You want to be needed. But when I think about, okay, I know what I am as a man, who God says I am as a man. So I know you're going to need me, period. So I'm not even worried about, I want you to need me. I don't have that.
So the resolution, I think the resolution, though, is that it depends on the attitude of the woman who's making all this money. If she has the right attitude to say, because submission literally just means to get under the mission that God has for us, to get underneath that mission, and it didn't have anything to do with how much you make or whatever. So if you can find the right woman who makes all this money and still understands how to submit,